Good morning, second graders. Today, we're going to look at some story problems or word problems for math. Before we begin, we're going to look at some of the important words that we need to determine whether it's an addition word problem or a subtraction word problem. Here are some of those words. For an addition word problem, we would have sum, total, in all, plus, together, more, or add. For subtraction, it would be difference, take away, decrease, remain, minus, fewer, less, or what is left. So those words will help us determine as we are reading through our story problems whether we're going to do an addition problem or a subtraction problem. So let's begin. Here's our first problem. Cameron made 3 different kinds of cookies. She made 15 snowmen, 23 Christmas trees, and 19 ornaments. How many cookies did she make in all? And it's asking us to show our work. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for those important words. So I'm going to look for numbers in my word problem first. So I have 3 different. I have 15 snowmen, 23 Christmas trees, and 19 ornaments. Okay, those are my numbers that I'm going to need. Now I need to determine whether this is an addition problem or a subtraction problem. So my final sentence says, how many cookies did she make in all? In all, at the end of that sentence, tells me that I am going to be doing addition. Now, as I look at my numbers, I have 4 different numbers, but the first number that I have says Cameron made 3 different kinds of cookies. So knowing that we're told the 3 different kinds of cookies, snowman, Christmas trees, and ornaments, I don't need to use the number 3 in my equation. So I'm going to start with 15 plus 23 plus 19. Okay, those are the 3 numbers that I need to add together to find out how many cookies in all did she make. I'm going to give you just a minute to go ahead and solve that. Okay, I know that 5 plus 3 is 8, and if I add 9 more, that gives me 17. So I'm going to write my 7 in my ones place. I'm going to carry the 1 into my tens place. I'm going to add 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. That gives me 5. So she made 57 cookies. So in order for my answer to be correct, remember I always need to label my word problem. So I need to label it with cookies. So Cameron made 57 total cookies. Now let's look at our second problem. Sam received 23 presents. He has already opened 18 presents. How many more presents does he need to open? Okay, once again, I'm going to look. My numbers are important pieces to my equation. So he has 23 presents, 18 presents. Now I need to determine if this is an addition or subtraction problem. And it says, how many more presents does he need to open? This is telling me that I need to do a subtraction problem. Remember, when we are doing a subtraction word problem, we always start with that bigger number on the top. So being 23 is bigger than 18, I'm going to start with 23 minus 18. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to go ahead, I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and solve that. Okay, so I know that I can't take 8 things away from 3 things, so I need to borrow from that 2. So I'm going to cross out my 2 and make it a 1. My 3 now becomes 13. Now I can take 8 things away from 13 things, which is 5. And 1 minus 1 is 0. And again, this is a word problem, so I do need a label at the end. And we're talking about presents, so he needs to open 5 more presents. Okay, So before I give you your super secret assignment, we're just going to review a little bit of addition and subtraction just to make sure that we have that down a little bit before we go ahead and get our assignment. Remember, when we're adding numbers, we can add more than two numbers together, two-digit numbers, just like we did in our Christmas present word problem. So if we want to add 15 plus 37, we can go ahead and do that. Always remember, when you're adding, you start with your ones column. So I add my 5 plus 7 to give me 12. I'm going to write my 2 in my ones place. I'm going to carry my 1 up to my tens place. I'm going to add 1 plus 1 to give me 2, plus 3 more gives me 5. So my answer here is 52. I'm going to do one more. Let's say I have 89, and I'm going to add 24 to that. Okay? I'm going to add 9 plus 4, give me 13. I'm going to write my 3 in my ones column, carry my 1 to my tens column. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. Now, because I don't have any more columns to go to, I just need to bring that straight down. So my answer there is 113. Now I'm going to try a couple of subtraction problems. Again, if we start with 58 and we're going to take away 19, remember, we need to look at that ones place again and determine whether that number in the bottom is bigger than that number in the top. Remember, more on the floor, go next door, borrow 10 more. So my 9 is bigger than my 8, so I'm going to go next door to my 5, make my 5 a 4, my 8 now becomes 18. 18 minus 9 is 9, 4 minus 1 is 3. You need to always determine that by looking at what you're going to do by looking at that ones on the bottom, that ones place. Okay, if I have 43 minus 12, my 2 is less than my 3, so I can just go ahead and subtract that straight on down. 3 minus 2 is 1, 4 minus 1 is 3, so my answer there is 31. So just make sure to remember to look at your bottom number. Remember, when you're setting up a subtraction problem, that bigger number always has to be on the top. Okay, now for your super secret assignment. What I would like you to do is I would like you to solve these two problems and bring them back to me showing your work. Okay, once again, solve these two problems. Bring that back. You need to show your work, how you come up with your answer, and there will be a prize waiting for you. Thank you so much. Have a great day and enjoy the snow.